Hello, today we're making sloppy Joe Crescents. In a large skillet, you're going to put 1 pound of ground beef. And you're going to cook this over medium-high heat until the hamburger is cooked and no longer pink. Now I realized as I was making this video that the actual recipe actually calls for a half a pound of ground beef and not a pound. So what I put in the quarter cup of barbecue sauce that I'd asked for, it didn't seem like there was enough. Like the meat was too dry. So I added more barbecue sauce, and I even added a little bit of ketchup in there just to try to moisten up the mixture a bit. And that makes sense. If I would have used half the amount of ground beef, a quarter cup of barbecue sauce would have been fine. I ended up using about a half a cup. And I put in about a half a cup of shredded cheese, and the actual recipe calls for a quarter cup of shredded cheddar cheese. And just stir that around until it's combined. And set it aside, and on a greased cookie sheet or one covered with a silicone mat like I have here, you're going to take your crescent roll dough out of the container. And the crescent roll dough comes in 8 triangles. So take 2 of the triangles and press them together to make a square. Now, when I fill these little squares up, you're going to see that they're quite full. And the reason for that is that I did double the amount of meat in the recipe. So these are quite full, but they were good anyway. So I realized, and I mentally divided the hamburger up in the skillet to the number of crescents I had, that they were going to be quite full. So you just kind of put the meat in there and then seal the edges up. This one I did kind of in a triangle shape. And the other ones I did kind of dumpling styles. I'll show you what I mean in a second here. Put the filling in the center, and I just kind of brought up the corners to the center, and then just seal up the seams. And do the same for the other two. And you'll see when I'm done here, there's still meat left in the skillet, even after all of that. So now looking back, it makes a lot of sense. I didn't quite follow the recipe. Then take a beaten egg and a pastry brush. There's Max sampling some of the extra hamburger in the background there. You can see him stealing a little bit of it. Brush the crescent rolls with some of the beaten egg. And then you're going to sprinkle some sesame seeds over top. This is optional, but they really does add a lot visually and to the taste of these. Then bake them in an oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes or so until they're nice golden brown. And actually, even though they were kind of overstuffed, the filling stayed inside them quite nicely. See how pretty they are with the sesame seeds? These are tasty. I mean, they're not the most fantastic thing I've ever eaten, but they are very good. They're a nice quick dinner if you need one.